Hi, sports fans, and welcome back to Smash and Grab TV, home of the Crash Bang Wallop Cup. We're in the final quarter now, and things are heating up nicely. I'm your host, Double D, and joining me here today is the, well, let's face it, cheating bastard, Tom Mandry. Tom Mandry, hi!
Yeah, hi Double D. Yeah, well, let's be honest, we didn't get on too well because we've just literally come from our match to come here to commentate. It's not good.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if we can call it a match. I think, to be honest, it needs to be started again. But look, we've got viewers. I'm going to have to put this to one side just for a moment. Now, Tol, I always ask you where we are and who we're going to see. But before you give us those details, we have had a request in from a viewer who signs themselves a newbie. And they would like to know... Yeah, isn't it just? I don't know if it's a real name or not. But anyway, they want to know why it matters which team is playing at home in terms of the game mechanics. So can you answer that question for us?
I can indeed. Now, obviously today we're at the Windy Top, which is a Kreepy Burping Clowns home. Just to say, it looks as though the Clowns have won the toss and put the Orcs into kick. Now, the reason it's important, it's if you look at the Blazin Squigskins, they have a tier 2 stadium, so they've actually invested in their stadium because they've got so many fans now. So if we were to have been seeing them playing at home, you can add additional benefits, like you might have your own home wizard, you might have a halfling pie stall, which I know you're well and truly familiar with, and all of these will add a benefit if you're playing at home. I think the Blazing Squigskins have extra hard Astro Granite, so if somebody trips while they're doing a sprint on their pitch, they're much more likely to be injured, because it's -1 to their armour roll. Whereas the Kreepy Burping Clowns, they've only got a tier 1 stadium, so they don't have any adjustments that are made there. So,
well, here's a follow-up question just very quickly then. You mentioned about the Astro Granite. Would that hurt the home team as well, or does that somehow only hurt?
No, it applies to both. I mean, for example, if you were to take the upgrade that gives you a referee, basically a referee bribe for free, both teams would get it. So I would imagine if we saw the Kreepy and Burping Clowns ever upgrade their pitch, they would definitely go for that, given how many referee calls they use. A lot of elves, on the other hand, they like to have super soft grass. So if they do trip, they're absolutely fine and they'll just gently bounce off it, wusses.
I see. So so you would pick the benefits that best suit your own team, as it were.
You would indeed.
Got it.
I've just noticed we've got the star player Fungus alongside the other ball and chain on the Goblin team. That's a lot of damage on that front line.
Isn't it just? And it's nice to see the bogeyman back on the pitch again. Oh, we've got a stunning blow straight away there.
Oh, and here goes the first of the ball and chains. Oh, another stun.
Lordy.
I love watching these guys play.
Yeah, but it's terrifying to see two of those ball and chains whirling around, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I would not want to face this team. I mean,
no.
He'll probably go towards the 2 blockers. Yeah, oh, he's only got a push. I think Fungus has a 4th move. Oh, and he missed. Oh, the Blazing Squigskins are lucky there, and here comes the most lethal player of all on that team.
Dude.
Oh, when he was playing against the Pegasus Flyers last match, that little chainsaw, blimey, so many players felt his blade.
Yeah, it's astonishing to see how much damage it can do, isn't it?
It is. And these 2 trolls, they've been brilliant all season.
As
far as trolls go, they've made very few stupid moves, which is really unusual.
Yeah, and fair play to them. I think they're going to be upgrading themselves quite nicely over the next season, certainly.
Well, I noticed one of Dunkster's trolls has now got the block skill. Now, I don't know if you realise, but for big guys, they cannot automatically pick the block skill. That has to only be obtained on a double. Oh, the chainsaw's down.
Dunkster's going to be gutted about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least he's still alive and kicking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we've seen Dunkster doing some amazing things with his goblins during the team. Cece's come along leaps and bounds with her orcs, who of course have got the strength advantage over the goblins. Where do you see this team, where do you see this game landing based upon those trajectories?
I think it's a tough call. I mean, obviously Dunkster now has his pogo stick back that was missing when he was playing against the Pegasus Flyers, and that pogo stick makes a huge difference for scoring potential for the Goblins.
Oh god, yeah, the distance, the agility, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the way this, certainly this first half, I would think Dunkster has a strong chance of scoring a touchdown because we've got a lot of orcs on the ground, and the rest are marked up.
Yeah, and that Pogo's got the ball as well.
Second half of the game, obviously the orcs are going to they'll be receiving the ball, whatever happens. Oh, we've got a foul. One of your favourites, I believe.
Well,
talking of cheating bastards.
It's all part of the game.
It is, but I believe when we played, it was your second move of the game.
Yeah. Well, I figure, you know, there are some people who just need to be put in their place, and well, certainly after that game, I know that you are somebody who needs to be put in your place. I'm only sorry I wasn't able to do it at the time.
It was my highest scoring game of the season. It has to be said.
Yeah. Nuffle was definitely against me on that one. I don't know what to say or what I can possibly do to make things right. But trust me, I will find some way.
You'll find enough Nobblers to sacrifice or turn into pies, will you?
No.
In the name of Nuffle, of course.
I would never do something to such a beautiful and sweet and helpless race of beings. No.
No.
Great pals, the Nobblers and me. Great pals.
I thought you might be, yes. You're better friends now with the Nobbler Association of Unions, are you?
Less good. They've been falling for the horrific tabloid stories that have been going out about me and my business ventures. But we'll get things straightened out. Don't worry.
Look at that ball and chain go.
Yes.
Oh, he's gone the wrong way.
Yeah. I'm not sure how anybody actually manages to wield one of them damn things. They're so enormous. And,
they are.
I mean, just keeping it spinning without throwing up. It's making me sick just looking at it.
Oh, that Goblin has knocked that orc out. Down goes. Was that lineman or a blitzer? I wasn't able to see in time.
Of course, we've seen now the pogo stick is on the edge of the pitch, a dangerous place to be, managing to get itself away nicely.
Yeah, we have again. The orcs are all marked up, so this is going to. And the black orc is down, so that's going to put the fungus even closer to these two that are the only chance that Cece has to stop that pogoer.
Yeah, she's going to have to dodge that orc away, really, isn't she? Dodge the orc away from that goblin.
Fungus has taken himself out of the game. What a star. What a star player.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if he's a star or a black hole, because, of course, he is very, very dense.
He is. Now, you're just going to have to excuse
I feel
me
like that joke
for a minute. I'm currently trying to bring poor old Slobber back after our match, damn you. And I just have to go and add some chemicals into his mixture. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll keep things going. Can't believe he didn't laugh at the black hole joke. What an arsehole. Anyway, right, okay. So, where are we now? We have got... Ooh! A nice trip there from that goblin. And the orc is down even after the re-roll. Okay, well that's settled it then, really, isn't it? We've got a touchdown coming up here.
Right, I'm
Pogo
back.
guy.
What have I missed?
Oh, just a little bit of a trip. Pogo guy is about to score. What is the name of that Pogo guy?
Oh, that's twice
Every
in a
time
row.
I try and
troll
read
has
it,
been
it's
really
just
stupid.
tickling. Yeah, not such a good guy, eh? What?
Oh,
Dunkster's held him back.
I don't like that sort of play. I can understand why, but I think he should have just gone in and scored.
Yeah, I mean that's even more reprehensible than winning 4-1. It's disgraceful play just to leave them sort of dangling at the end there, and presumably just to waste a little bit of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I understand in the revised game plan that a lot of teams will be joining. If you do that, you can actually end up with all kinds of trouble from the crowd.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, I mean, that was clearly a case of delaying the game, because he could have had enough spaces to go and step in. If he does that, there's a high chance that one of the crowd will literally throw a stone at him.
Ah.
So yeah, game delaying is a bit more risky because the crowd are now allowed to throw stones. Normally, that's strictly prohibited. I mean, yes, you do see the odd one at kick-off, but that's just because they're having a bit of fun and getting overexcited. But no, the crowd are now encouraged to stop this sort of play.
This is one of the things that I love about the NAF, is that they do develop the game as it goes along. They see which way the crowds want the game to go, and they play to their audience. So yeah, the idea that they've picked up on these underhanded tactics and decided to do something about it is really welcome.
Right, looks like Dunkster has to score now because he now has a number of orcs within range, although he is going to the ball and chain first. And some blocks. That's risky when you're right on the try line, and if one of those had gone wrong, that would have been game over for the poor old pogo stick. Yeah,
big time. Yeah, it's
there we go.
You can roll your double dice feeling pretty confident you're going to at least get a push, but you do get those double skulls coming up sometimes, and that really could have left him walloped. But there we go, 1-0 to Dunkster, the creeping burpy clowns, or creepy burping clowns I should say.
Yep.
2 of them have come back, including the chainsaw.
And Boingy scores. Yeah, I mean, he was greatly missed the last match by Dunkster.
Yeah.
I have some good news about Taser's Slobber.
Have you?
His heart is just starting to beat again with a new character that's been added. So yeah, I'm hoping by the end of this match I'll have him back up on his feet ready for my next match against the Pegasus Flyers.
Are you? Is he a player that you particularly value and enjoy then? I mean, you've already brought him back from the dead once, haven't you?
He is. To be fair, he is my pet werewolf. He's not just a player. He's so much more to me.
Ah, that's really good to know. Anyway, sorry. Right, so the team is setting up. We've got quite an aggressive posture here by the Goblins. They're clearly looking to push through and, if not score a second touchdown, at least stop the Orcs from returning the favour.
And we have the Bomber on the pitch. If nothing else, he's brought entertainment to every match. Usually by dropping a bomb at his own feet.
Yeah, he really is chaos embodied, isn't he?
Yeah.
I do like to see him on the pitch. And I mean, have you ever seen it? But I've once seen a bomber actually caught and returned to the bomber.
Yes.
It's
amazing to see. In fact, that almost happened, didn't it, when they were playing the Tiny Rocks? Didn't one of the Tomb Guardians actually catch the ball and then throw it behind him and knock down his own ball carrier?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Bombs add so much enjoyment to the game. I mean, that's the other thing that I noticed, the Tiny Rocks in so many of their matches, they love to bring a wizard along.
Yes,
They're
they do.
the only team that does, I think, so far. I haven't really seen them elsewhere.
No. Well, I think so many of the other teams, they end up spending their money on getting replacement players rather than, getting some of these nice upgrades. So, yeah, it's having the funds, isn't it, always with the Wizards.
Oh, it is, yeah. I mean, as you say, Tiny Rocks, they've been lucky. They've not lost players. Given they've got those Tomb Guardians and they're so squishy, I was just amazed. But, I mean, these two teams, again, the Goblins are just doing phenomenally. Any team with stunties, you would normally expect half of the team to have died by halfway through the season. But no, they're still all on their feet. I think, what have we seen replaced? Just one of the chainsaws, I believe? Yeah,
I think you're right there. Yeah. But Dunkster is a very canny coach. He's got some tough little goblins there that he's been training well. Who knows whether he's going to actually... Well, no, I don't think he's got the means to take the championship, but he's certainly got the means to push them higher up the table than I think any other coach would have been able to do.
Yeah, they're certainly one of the best performing Goblin teams I've ever seen in my days playing.
Yeah. Okay, well the fists are coming in now.
They are. I'm just looking at this big old grouping of orcs there. Look at that. That's sort of, if anything, the bombs... Oh, I forgot he had Frenzy. That's a shame. He's now one step further along.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you've got a bomber, you're looking for as tight a grouping of enemy players as you can. I mean, when I was playing my dwarves, I was just glad we didn't have bombers in our league that time. Because obviously the tight formation that the dwarves like to use is really prone to it. Oh, we got another double trip by an orc.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they've been put on some sort of new chemical or something. They seem to be an awful lot quicker to react than normal.
Yeah, these goblins are doing amazing. Ah, here we go. The troll's finally forgotten that he's not stupid after all, and is doing a successful blitz.
Now, speaking of the devastation that bombs can play, of course, these trolls could pick up one of the goblins and throw them. Is that right? Is that one of the skills that they've got?
It is, yes. All big guys can throw stunties, so
Yeah.
the tree men often do in halfling teams. You'll occasionally see ogres do when you've got an orc team with a goblin present. Now, the problem with trolls is they're not very bright. And if they pick something up in their hands, it's usually because they think they're about to eat. And unfortunately, we have seen goblins that have already lost their head thrown down the pitch. They're not able to score then.
No, it is considerably harder to score without your own head. But could the trolls potentially pick up a goblin and throw it in the same way as a bomb in order to actually injure the opponent?
Oh, not currently. But again, this is something that they're talking about with now. So that that's 2 KOs in 2 turns. The foul followed by the block. No, at the moment, while they can throw players, if they land in another player square, they just scatter away. But again, they're talking about changing the rules so that any little goblin and other stunty will have a really hard pointy helmet underneath their hat, so that if they're thrown, then they should act like a missile.
Excellent. I think it's going to help balance the game a little bit, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly would do. I mean, when you've got a tight formation, could you imagine throwing one in the new rules and seeing them bounce around and knock everyone down? I'm hilarious.
Taking notes as we speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Cece's managed to get the ball there in one of her orc's hands, starting to cage up.
She has, but she now only has 2 more turns after this to actually score. So
it's going to require a pass, isn't it? At least, and she's going to need to get one of those orcs right up the pitch to be able to do something with that.
Yeah, that orc should have run the other way.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the number of spaces. I can't see any orcs that can now actually reach the end zone this half.
So the one at the very front there that's got 2 goblins next to it?
No, that's one of the Black Orc Blitzers. They're only movement 4, and then we've just lost the only lineman that was closer to the line with faster speed, but even there at movement 5. No, unfortunately, one of her blitzers had to get forward. The movement 6 blitzers, but 2 of them are knocked out.
Yeah, it's tough times for the orcs there. So they're clearly not going to be able to score again. I guess. I mean, they've got their nice defensive formation now. If they can stop the creepy burping clowns from
I think we're
scoring
getting a bomb thrown at that little formation.
Oh! And that's the ball carrier taken out.
What a perfect shot by the bomber. Well, that's unusual.
That's nicely done.
Now, of course, bombardiers hardly ever get star player points. If they do, you really want them to have increased agility or a passing skill, because that ball is that bomb is exactly the same as a ball when you're throwing it.
Yes.
Of course, that's the other downside with trolls. They've only got agility 1, so if they try throwing something, it's less likely to go well when it's a goblin.
Yeah, so in terms of the dice that we're rolling on the tabletop version of this, if you got agility 1, would they have to get like a 6 to be able to?
They would need a natural 6 or a modified version, depending what benefits that they have. Yes.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Yeah, you see, CC's gone after the ball again. That's an interesting one. Picked up and then grabbed by the. But why not run forward? That blitzer hadn't moved. Oh, it's too late anyway.
So they would have been able to move it, just turned over because she decided to?
Yes, the ball failed to be picked up, but because it bounced straight into the hands of one of the other players, it's classed as essentially a quick sort of shift of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would not count as a turnover because of that.
Yeah, so although it looks like it was a fumble, it's technically a catch, it's just by a different player than expected.
And here comes the bomber.
Oof!
Nicely placed again.
Yeah, really nice. I suppose the shortness of that pass made it easier to do.
It did. I mean, in theory, you could have had a troll. Oh no, it's again last turn for the goblins. I was about to say you could have had a troll throw a goblin down the pitch to score, but I think it's too late.
Yeah.
So
okay, well look, I'm absolutely busting for the loo at the moment. If you don't mind, what I'm going to do is just dash off. I'll leave you to finish this last bit.
Okay.
I've got to dash off to the loo. I will be back as quickly as I can, hopefully before the next half begins.
Yeah, I think we'll just see CC take down a few of the goblins now. Yeah, last bit of damage before this half. Oh, so far, each one of these blocks failed. Come on, CC's orcs, get them down. One last hit on a troll. No. And there's the end of the first half. So we've got the Creepy and Burping Clowns 1-0 up. And that was a lovely bit of play there by Boingy, the pogo stick. Both of the Orcs have woken up, so at least CC now has all 4 of her blitzers back on the pitch. Right, let's see how many of them the secret weapons are sent off, and whether or not Dunkster uses a call. He did not use one on the bomber. But we now have both the chainsaw and the ball and chain back in play. Obviously Fungus, the star player, ball and chain, is off after he knocked himself out and took himself out of the game. That's a very aggressive setup there by the Goblins. I mean, obviously they are now kicking to the Orcs. Okay, and the Orcs look like they're in position, so I think we're probably going to see the pogo stick kick the ball. No, we've just got one of the small Goblins. Okay, Kreepy and Burping Clowns get an extra reroll for this half. Let's see if CC can get her Orcs to get hold of that ball and get it down the pitch to equalise. It's a good kick. It's turned up right at the back of the field. Okay, CC's taking the attack straight to the Goblins. They're now being hemmed in by the Black Orc blockers. Obviously that ball and chain is dangerous where he's standing. That's interesting. I would have followed up if I was her then against that. Oh, we've got one of the Goblins down. Do we have a stun or a knockout? Just a stun. Okay, CC's going after the ball with her thrower. And they've got the ball. They're coming back up the pitch slowly. I don't think there's much point sending anyone back to assist because they're not going to go anywhere at this stage.
Back, sorry about that.
Not a problem.
Call of nature and all that sort of thing.
We're still on turn 1 of the second half.
Okay.
I can smell something that's just come in the room with you. Did you tread on something on your way out?
Yeah, sorry. It was not a pleasant call of nature. It hurt quite a little bit as well, but I feel greatly satisfied by the results.
Ooh, we nearly had the ball and chain take themselves down there.
Oh, that's
they do
vicious.
Not have the block skill. What else have we got going on? We've got the blitzer being taken down. Oh, those Goblins. I would imagine this blitzer is going to be fouled.
Yes. Stick the knife in.
Oh,
rip it
I think
open.
Stick the chainsaw in. Here he comes. I mean, this is where chainsaws are great. Chainsaws, they can be used actually offensively instead of a block, but they are amazing when they're used as a foul. Huge bonus.
Very difficult though when you're actually trying to skin somebody. Probably better use a sort of a knife for that or something.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think you'd tear things up if you tried using a chainsaw. It would make quite a mess of any sort of pelts or something that you're after. Why are you talking about pelts anyway?
I never mentioned a pelt. I was just talking about skinning people and killing them.
Oh, fair enough.
Anyway.
I didn't realise you halflings like that. I thought normally the sort of things you would skin would be a chicken or some sort of little furry beast to cook.
Yes, no, that's absolutely it, and there's nothing else to talk about. It's perfectly fine and perfectly normal, and yeah, sorry, my bloodlust is up. It's just what happens to me at Bloodbowl.
That's fair enough. I can fully understand that there, Double D. I mean, it's just a shame your coaching wasn't up to scratch last match.
Yes. Well. Yeah.
Ooh, look at that go.
I've got no response to you. I think I've said and done everything that I possibly can to extract my vengeance upon you, and yeah. Anyway,
I think that Blitzer's in trouble now because he's standing right next to the chainsaw.
Oh my
with
God!
His back.
Look at this. He's going to take the. Oh, I thought he was going to take his own troll out then for a second.
There is always that risk with a ball and chain. Right, where's the
blitz coming in from the troll
in? Yep, breaking up that formation and getting himself right next to the ball carrier.
Yeah, that's cracking. That's absolutely cracking. He's of course in a little bit of danger having all of those orcs around him. You know, the more you gang up on somebody, the easier it is to squish them. But it's such a psychological blow to have something that big right next to the ball.
Now I'm really surprised that Dunkster decided to use the block from the Goblin rather than the chainsaw there. Unless
what do you think he's got in mind for the chainsaw?
Well, he might be intending to send up the chainsaw to I don't know. To maybe go after that black orc there. I mean, the thing is,
so long as we see the blades tearing into the flesh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Exactly. Fine. But if you foul, you want as many players unopposed around them as you can.
Yes. Yeah, it all adds to the value, doesn't it, when you're trying to get through that armour.
Here we go. Straight into the poor orc. And he's taken Tackler out of the game.
It's lovely to see.
Oh no!
But
Referee
is off. Unless he's got a bribe. Has he got a bribe?
No, he's out of bribes. I think he's used them all to keep his players on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, fair play. The Chainsaw, he did damn good work.
I mean, something that you'll find that Dunkster's done this entire season, he's kept his team value low, so that he has plenty of extra cash to buy those bribes. Because oh no, we've got another orc that's trying to dodge out of a tackle zone and has tripped. The rerolls coming in and they're down. The orc is down. That's going to leave the ball carrier a little bit exposed.
Yeah,
we've now
big
got
time. Going to have a hard time getting down
there. Could the troll reach them, or would they need to sprint? 1, 2, 3. No, the troll would need to risk a sprint. Oh no, we've got the ball and chain after the ball carrier.
Freaking out. Oh no, just pushed.
Now,
here comes the blitz.
Now the troll can reach him without sprinting.
Just a push.
Oh, they tried to re-roll and the loner prevented that happening. Because, of course, if your player has the loner, if they're basically a bit rubbish, you first have to roll a 4+ in order to be able to use a re-roll for them.
Yes.
So there's always a risk.
Yeah, those big guys, they've got their pluses, but there's real minuses as well to them.
Double D?
Yeah.
What's that fur sticking out of your bag? I can see just a little tuft at the top.
Yeah. It's just part of my lunch. It's a bit of wild boar. Let me just chuck that away.
Not a little squig.
Yeah, squig's what I meant. Yeah,
yes,
squig.
Yeah. Oh, that's
that
nice
makes more
to
sense.
see that you're appreciating the away team's culinary delights, because obviously they use squigs for everything.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I
eating, you name it.
Well, I've got a hell of an appetite, as I say, and a little bit bloodthirsty. So this one is a rare squig.
Now I have to say,
delicate.
What on earth would you do in CC's position? Look at that poor ball carrier. They're utterly surrounded.
Yeah, I think the way that I would go is, as we're looking at it on the screen there, I would be trying to attack that corner and then get out and pass it up forward to my orc brethren. Obviously, the more people you can get into the opposition's tackle zones, the less you have to face. Yes, she's doing it. She's attacking. Excellent.
Okay, that's moved the ball carrier away, so they now just have the one goblin marking them.
Yeah.
That's a much better position they were in a second ago.
Yeah, of course the difficulty is you can't attack and throw in the same move, but yeah, go for the weak spot always.
Indeed. Now this is interesting. The troll is blitzing when they're already next to the player, so I'm assuming they're going to move back into the tackle zone. There we go, into the ball carrier's tackle zone.
Yeah, and a lot of new coaches, they kind of forget that blitzes aren't just used to run and attack. Sometimes it's very much a case of attacking first and then getting into the right position to make it difficult for your opponents.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very powerful skill. I mean, that being able to knock someone down and move. Again, look at that. So we've again seen Chuckles with his new block skill, using it twice this match.
Yeah.
Such a powerful skill for a big guy to get. Oh, the other troll tried to get the ball, but didn't realise what it was, and it's just slipped straight through his hands.
It's always joyful to see a big guy getting actually hold of the ball, though, isn't it?
It is. Boingy is now getting the ball. No, Boingy has failed to pick up. We've got a reroll coming in.
And failed once again. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, of course, the further into a game you get, the more slippery it tends to get between all of the blood and the sweat and the viscera that gets on it.
It does indeed. You're going to have to excuse me again. I need to go and add a few more chemicals to poor old Taster Slobber to bring him back. Like I was saying, his heart is looking really strong, so I think hopefully he'll be awake again soon. So I'll see you
by
in a
all
few minutes.
means, you go. That's fine. God, what am I going to do with this bag? Okay. I'll. Hey, you. Can you just take this bag and get it. Just get it away from the stadium. Look, here's a bit of money. Just yeah. Give me your, yeah. Okay, great. I'll come find you afterwards. All right. Just get away, hide with it. I'll see you after. Okay, thanks. Right. So where are we now with this? We've got to turn over. Ball next to the goblins there. How many turns are left? We've got 3 turns left for each of the players. There's definitely time for another touchdown if they can make it. And that's a brutal blow by the Orc there. Pie filler knocked out. Pie filler. God, I am hungry as well. Okay, yeah, he's taken out.
I'm back, but I am so cross. Double D, somebody has mutilated Tasteless Slobber. They've gone and cut the top of his pelt off.
No.
I mean, I've done what I can. I've patched him up with a bit of stitching, but he's just lost his beautiful fur.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's so awful.
I'm sure some fan of my team has decided that it's a great opportunity to pick up a little bit of a souvenir. Unfortunately, it's just... It's always the risk if your player gets pushed into the crowd. I didn't think it would be a risk if I'd left them back in my locker room.
Yeah, well, this is it. You've got somebody in the audience who's maybe a little bit disgruntled with what they're seeing. They want to do a little bit of violence. They see something that they just want, and they just take it. I mean, people, they're disgusting. I don't understand people
it's
at all.
It's just left Tasteless in a poor old state. He's now got bandages to hold him together. One of his eyes has had to be patched up because it looks like that got damaged as well. I'm so cross. It's almost made my heart start beating again.
I feel really bad for you, Tom Andrew, and despite the differences that we've had, I think I've got enough fellow feeling to want to help you. So of course, if there's anything I can do to help you in this situation, you just let me know, all right? Except for lending you money, I won't do that.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you, Double D. I knew I could trust you, really.
Yeah,
I just noticed we just had the Boingy was given the ball for a handoff and managed to drop it. Otherwise, I think we would have now seen the Kreepy Burping Clowns going for their second touchdown.
It's a shame.
Oh no! We've got another Orc that's trying to dodge and has tripped. I believe that's the third of this match, but at least the reroll worked.
Yeah, it's not the team you generally want to dodge with, is it? But by getting himself up the pitch there, he's got actually half a chance of getting a touchdown. He can just manage to pick up the ball.
That's a good point. So, how many turns have we got left? I've been losing track a bit there in my rage.
Yeah,
we've got 2 turns
15.
left. 1 turn left for the Blazin Squigskins. Yes, that blitzer is in a position, but is now marked by a Goblin. So, is there any way that CC could get that ball and move it down the pitch?
We can just get the cameraman to stop focusing on the troll that they're fantasizing about. We might be able to see.
Does have a blitzer right next to the ball, and a Black Orc could move that Goblin out of the way at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a chance.
Oh, this would be amazing. Oh, Grampic is injured.
Yeah. That was a brutal blow for either troll. It's just what you want to see, really, isn't it? You big
That's
guys.
Lucky. He was about to lose a point of movement, which for a thrower that's reliant on picking up the ball, but thankfully CC's Apoca 3 has brought him back. While he is now in the reserves, I don't think we're going to see him again. Oh, what happened there? Did we see the Boingy leap?
Yeah, that was an attempted leap action there by Boingy on the pogo stick. Unfortunately, seems to have gone into a divot and just gone on his ass.
It has, but on the other hand, that's now giving a little bit more of a chance to CC because that gets one of the 2 Goblins out of the way. So this Black Orc, if they move the Goblin, that leaves a free path for the Blitzer to get the ball and send it down the pitch. Come on, you can do it. He's picking up the ball, he's got the ball, he's running down the pitch.
On!
Now we just need a pass. It's a difficult pass because that Blitzer is marked. We had a sprint, here comes the pass. It's looking good. No!
Oh, fumbled!
Oh, if only there was a reroll. That is that was a really valiant attempt there by CC on the last turn of the game.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. Yeah, little blitz at the end and a run to the end. That would have been incredible.
That was a lovely attempt at play. I think if that Orc had not been marked on the previous turn by the Clowns, I think that would have probably been an equaliser.
Yeah. Yeah, and that would have been lovely to see.
Oh no!
Double knockdown.
Crunchy has taken himself out, and that's the final turn and the final move of this match. That was an interesting game, but I'm just still gutted about Slobber.
Yeah, I feel for you, man. I feel for you.
He'll be back. He'll be ready to play against Pegasus Flyers, but...
Yeah, I mean, this is it. You're a necromancer. You can bring them back from the dead. It's cosmetic. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just
technically a lich these days. It's a long time ago since I was still a living necromancer.
Sure. But you know what I mean. I think you've got the ability to bring Tasteless Slobber back. Do so. Just get him something tasteful to wear on his top. I don't like to see those werewolf boobs just sort of bouncing around like that.
I can understand that.
Distasteful.
That's interesting. The number of blocks succeeded is equal almost. 41 for the clowns versus 42 for the Squigskins. That's quite surprising. The clowns got so many successful blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Squigskins were really unlucky not to cause any injuries. I had this problem when I played the clowns. I just could not get their armour to break. They're surprisingly tough little guys.
Yeah, tough guys, very dodgy, very difficult to actually pin down. Most of the damage that I've seen done to Goblin teams are actually done by themselves.
It has. I just need to say about the trolls again, 95% success rate for their stupidity rolls. Phenomenal pair of trolls, those two. All season,
really
nicely
some of the
done.
best. Yeah, I don't know whether it's down to training or whether they've found some sort of technological or magical means to sort of just control them that little bit better. I might have to talk to Dunkster about it afterwards because I'm thinking of an ogre team myself for the future, and obviously they're prone to stupidity. So any tips or tricks he's got, I'm happy to hear.
Now my old ogre team, Thrug and the boys, they've played many a match, but I'll be honest, they rarely won. All they were there for was the violence.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I'm here for the violence. I enjoy the violence, and if a few nobblers have to die in the middle of it, well,
I just need to go back to the stats. I just noticed again something perhaps CC should bear in mind for orcs.
Yeah.
28% success rate for dodging. I think avoid the dodging whenever you can.
Yeah. It's definitely a when you have to rather than for the hell of it kind of a move.
It has. Well, I think that's actually set. The Kreepy Burping Clowns are probably in 6th place overall for the league, I believe, at the end of this one now, are they not?
Okay. I
have to check
my notes with me, but yeah, it sounds about right.
5th or 6th, I think they will finish. Blazin Squigskins, I believe, are going to now finish in either 7th or 8th place, depending how the match between the Tiny Rocks and the who are they playing?
The Tiny Rocks are... Yes, it is, isn't it? It's Bullets... Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, bearing in mind that Bullet Survivor, that's coached by Insane 5, isn't it? They haven't actually won a game yet. I'd say that's probably a bit of a walkover for Tiny Rocks.
It is.
But you never know. You never know. But,
indeed.
I mean, this is one of the things I love about these competitions, of course, is that get to the end like this and you do just see how the teams are going to start falling, their final positions, and everything gets so much more tense as you push towards that final match to see who will finally claw their way to the very top.
Indeed. Now I'm going to have to head off quickly to make sure that Tasteless Slobber remains safe while the fans are on their way. So it's goodbye from me, and thank you Double D.
You're welcome. I've thoroughly enjoyed it as ever, Tolmandry. You go take care of your poor little werewolf, eh?